We are online with Lauren Dallas. She is a girl boss extraordinaire. She is one of the founders of Future Females, and she has helped so many hundreds of female entrepreneurs go from startup all the way to a six-figure salary, a six-figure income. And she does this through supporting their entrepreneur, their business, their way of doing business, but also in the way that they do social media.
And this is something that I wish I had thought about in the very early days of my first businesses. And it's this concept of the model paradigm. And essentially, it's putting in the time to define a business model, not only that's going to build a beautiful business for you, that will have the impact you want, but that will deliver the life that you want to live. We need to make sure that we're delivering real, tangible value into the world. And if things are feeling hard, if you feel like you're posting into a black hole, or if you're getting heaps of people coming and looking at your product but not purchasing, it's not often because of the price, even though that's the objection we hear the most. It's actually because of the value, and more specifically, the way you're communicating the value.
The fact that there are more and more support structures like Future Females that can actually hold your hand through the process. I know I get so lonely, and I get to the point where I'm like, who can I share, my struggles with, and who can I just bounce back and kind of get a little bit of reassurance and support that, yes, this is a battle, but you're moving through it. And we are going out to the whole world, which is really, really exciting. We've got people that tune in from Australia, New Zealand. I had somebody from Iceland the other day.
Wow.
So it's really, really great to connect with you all. I've got the incredible Lauren Dallas with us today. She is just a girl boss extraordinaire that I've been watching for over a year now. And it's just been phenomenal, the growth, not only in herself and her business, but the growth and expansion that she has allowed other female entrepreneurs to experience. And I know so many of you are in the position right now where you're going, I don't know what to do because my work is falling away, or, I've got to recreate my job and do it in a completely different way. And so many people are moving online, which is one of the kind of sure bets. And I say that in inverted commas because is it a sure bet? We don't know. It's only a sure bet if you know what you're doing and you get the right guidance and the right support. And so I asked lovely Lauren Dallas to join us here on Thrive so that we can get you the right support. So please welcome the incredible Lauren Dallas. And the crowd.
Thank you. What an intro. So happy to be here. I have been watching you like you've been watching me for the last year. It has not been one-sided stalking. So very happy to be in this session with you, and hi to everyone tuning in from around the world.
Amazing. So for all of you that are tuning in, whether you're tuning in live or whether you're watching this afterwards, I always like to know what our global community is. So drop me a little message and just let me know from where in the world you are tuning in from. I see a lot of hellos coming through on Instagram and Facebook. If I look down, that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm checking if you are trying to communicate to me. So please don't think I'm not interested in what's going on here. So Lauren is going to take us through today. I think, Lauren, let's just contextualize actually first. What is Future Females? Just so that people who haven't heard of it understand what Future Females is, because you are one of the co-founders.
Yes. So I've actually started 5 businesses, and I'm still running 2 of various different models. I've run a consulting firm, a tech marketplace, a product-based e-commerce business. Those 3 I'm no longer running. I'm currently working on Growth Academy, which is an e-learning platform that I founded that supports entrepreneurs how to grow businesses on social media, specifically on Facebook and on Instagram, and Future Females. So I have a beautiful co-founder, Serena, in this business. We launched in August 2017, and our mission was clear. We want to increase the number of female entrepreneurs and better support their success. So At its core, we are a community. We have expanded around the world. We're now in 32 cities. We used to run offline events every month, which obviously now we're running online. We've pivoted quickly. And we have a number of programs that essentially give women not just the training, but also the personal support, the private safe forums to experiment, to try, to fail, to win, and to celebrate that, and really to build the business and the financial stream and financial freedom that we crave.
You know, I'm so glad that you said that, Lauren. I'm so glad that we actually started with you saying that, because so many people view failure as this awful thing, and they are so scared of failure, right? But the reality is that all of us that are entrepreneurs, every single entrepreneur and every single person, failure is a part of life. It's one of the greatest learning instruments in life. And when we fail, we gather so much knowledge, and it just redirects us to something that's actually even better. So the fact that you, first of all, started by saying, well, I've started multiple businesses, you know, but right now I'm actually running 2. And these are the 2 that are really working for me, I think is so reassuring for other entrepreneurs that are listening, going, shit, but I've failed so many times, you know, like, am I going to get it right this time? And the fact that there are more and more support structures like Future Females that can actually hold your hand through the process. I know I get so lonely, and I get to the point where I'm like, who can I share, you know, my struggles with, and who can I just bounce back and kind of get a little bit of reassurance and support that, yes, this is a battle, but, you know, you're moving through it.
Absolutely. And I think nothing is more frustrating than an overnight success story. Like, nothing pisses me off actually more than that. I'm like, no one is believing it, or if they are, like, you're really just not doing the world any justice by pretending you've made millions of dollars overnight. We've all had our own journeys to where we're at. And I like to paint the whole picture so that people, as you say, who are lonely or frustrated or stuck, they go, actually, everyone feels like this at some point, and we just keep picking ourselves back up. I think on the topic of failure, if I can just share a motto that we live by at Future Females.
Yes.
Actually, every year on our birthday in August, we celebrate our birthday, of course, but we celebrate our failures. And we have an event that is all about celebrating failure. And our motto is, it's easy to succeed if you set the bar low enough. It's like, if you have tiny goals, you'll always hit them. But what if you set massive goals? And if you set yourself up for failure, then suddenly it's not scary, and you'll end up so much further than you could have been if you had those small goals. So this is what we do, challenge ourselves to fail, I guess, and to embrace that.
I cannot actually tell you how much I needed to hear that right now today, because, and I mean that so honestly, because this Thrive platform that I've created is so massive. Like, in my mind, it's so massive that on a daily basis, I feel overwhelmed by the undertaking that I've kind of begun, you know, this journey on. And I'm kind of like, how the hell did you think you were going to do this? What is going on with you? You know, I have these moments of doing that. And I mean, even this morning, I had that moment. I left Lauren a voice note. I was like, Lauren, we need a coaching call. We need to set up a coaching call because, you know, I need some guidance and help. So it's really great. We live in an energetic world. I really believe this. And so whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching a recording of it, you are hearing this exact information right now for you. It is valuable for you. So you are so included. Give me a thumbs up if you can relate to what Lauren and I are talking about right now, because we really are in this all together. So Lauren, let's dive in. We're going to speak about the 5 things that people need to know and understand if they are thinking of starting an online business. And maybe we should just kick off with those, and then we can do some Q&A right at the end, guys. So if you've got questions that come up, please do jot them down. You can start typing them in the comments, and I will come back to you at the end, and we'll have a quick little Q&A. But right now, let's dive into some information that's going to empower you and help you in whatever it is you're wanting to create.
Awesome. So it's quite interesting reflecting on the 5 things you need to know. And obviously I only have my personal journeys to reflect on. And so I was thinking, like, what are some of the things I wish people had told me? And so I wanted to break down these 5 things, one into just talking about like the opportunity that is now, because I understand a lot of people, there are some people who are seizing COVID, right? And they're going, this is incredible. This is my time. But there's a lot of people, and in a summit I was part of with Brian Walsh on Monday, he did a survey, and this really stuck with me. He asked people, how much are you being impacted by COVID? And 75% of people said it was having a significant or devastating impact on their business. And for me, it means that we need to do a better job of painting the picture of where the opportunity is right now and how to seize it. So I'd like to talk about that. Then I'd like to touch on 3 of, I guess, the pitfalls that impacted my journey and that I've been doing a lot of discussion around, and then finish on like the one big question that I'd like to leave everyone with to take away. That's not a tactic. It's like a fundamental strategic level question. So can I, as I okay to you?
Dive in. That's perfect.
Awesome. So I think what I would start with is, I know a lot of people are not building online businesses, but that doesn't mean you can't build a business that grows, engages, and thrives online. And so regardless of where you are in your journey right now, I would love to just highlight the opportunity that there is to grow. I'm a data-driven marketer, so I, of course, have some stats. There's 3 I want to share. One is, right now we're all sitting at home. You guys know this. You're sitting at home, tuned into us on social media, because it is our only opportunity to connect. And this is the case for everyone around the world, and it's a huge opportunity. Right now, time spent on Facebook and Instagram is up 77% compared to what it was just a couple of months ago, meaning your audience, whoever they are, they're online, they're on social, and it's right now, therefore, is the best opportunity to put your information, your products, your services out there to actually reach people. And when they need you the most, right? No one's going to win if they just stop doing anything during this period and try to come back at the end. That's not how we build trust. We build trust with our audience by being present when they need us most, which is right now. And social media has created a space that allows us to do this. The second step, I was doing a talk with the founder of PayFast this week. So for the South Africans who've tuned in, you'll know PayFast is the South African equivalent of PayPal. And I was asking him, what impact have you seen for your merchants in the last couple of months at a data level? And he said they saw a massive spike in e-commerce sales and in revenue for their merchants when COVID hit. And then it dipped a little, you know, that excitement of, I'm at home, what else do I have to do? The thrill of online. Suzanne's like, yes.
Online shopping.
It was very real. I bought a freaking hula hoop. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Maybe that's my new thing. Anyway, this was not, you know, just me and not just Susanna. This was everyone. So people who were already set up for online, and Forbes released an article saying there was double to triple spent online during that period. And then the third stat that I wanted to share, and I've just got it written down here, is the cost of ads. Right? For those of you who perhaps do know me or follow me, you'll know I'm probably the most enthusiastic person about Facebook ads. I literally love it. I sing in my coaching sessions and I'm like, most people don't enjoy it quite as much as you do, Lauren. But that's okay. But the reality is,
you see the results. Like you firsthand see the results. And so for people who are watching who don't know anything about Facebook advertising and who are nervous about Facebook advertising, and I totally get it, just so that you know, is because we don't have enough knowledge to implement it correctly to see the results. But once you actually see the results, it's like exercising. When you go to gym and you go to gym once a month, you don't see any results and you're not actually getting fitter, you're not actually getting firmer. But if you start going to gym every day or start doing some form of exercise every day, you'll start seeing the results. And when you do, how excited do you guys get when you get a flat stomach or when all of a sudden there's like a little bit of definition on your butt? It's really exciting, right? So it's the same with Facebook advertising, same with anything. When you start and understand the results that you can achieve, it becomes super exciting.
Absolutely. Really need to bring back that definition on my butt too, Susanna. I feel like you're speaking to me now. Oh, so Facebook ads right now, they're 3 to 5 times cheaper than they were just a few months ago. So that means you can get 3 to 5 times the results for the spend and the effort that you were spending 3 months ago. And actually, I'm celebrating right now because I just finished up a Facebook ad training program with 250 entrepreneurs, and they're getting leads, email addresses into their business for R1. That's less than 10 cents. That is freaking insane. I was like, how are you doing this exactly? Like, you show me now. It is awesome. So for a really small amount of money, you can see huge growth and traction in your business if you take the action.
Okay, Lauren has frozen for a moment, so I'm going to wait for her to get back to us. But while she is frozen, I'm going to keep talking to you guys. For those of you that are watching and have just joined, we are online with Lauren Dallas. She is a girl boss extraordinaire. She is one of the founders of Future Females, and she has helped so many hundreds of female entrepreneurs go from startup all the way to a six-figure salary, a six-figure income. And she does this through supporting their entrepreneur, their business, their way of doing business, but also in the way that they do social media. Now, in the time that we're living in today, so many people are Lauren is back. So many people are going online and so many people are transforming their businesses. And some of them go, oh, I don't know how to do the online thing. Or my business isn't online. But the reality is understanding social media and understanding the online world can only boost your business, no matter what it is. So Lauren is back. She disappeared for a second, but it's because she's in the Midlands in the UK somewhere, aren't you, Lauren?
I am. It's a very beautiful and peaceful place to be.
So we lost you. You were just about to make your third point there.
Okay. That was actually just one point. Let me make a second point. So hopefully everyone tuned in right now.
Oh dear, she's frozen again. So Lauren is going through the 5 things that basically are the things she wished she had learned when she first started out. So the 5 things, we were talking about the fact that all of us fail. All of us go through failure, and then all of us go through success. And one of the things that she already said, for those of you who have just tuned in now, is that, aim for failure. Make your dreams so big that if you succeed at your dream, it's too small. So make it so big that you are aiming for failure in a way. And every year in August, it is their birthday. And so every year they celebrate their failures, which I think is really, really cool. And it certainly is something that I definitely needed to hear today, because starting Thrive is such a huge, huge, huge undertaking. And sometimes I feel overwhelmed. How many of you feel the same? We are going to have a Q&A with Lauren. So if you can type your questions in the comments below, and then also just type which country you are coming from, that would be really, really cool. We're going to be chatting about the online business opportunity models that are working right now, the 3 key mistakes that entrepreneurs are making now and are holding them back from success, and the one question to ask yourself before you start absolutely anything. And I think that if you are an entrepreneur of any kind, if you've got a business of any kind, these are the things that you really, really, really need to know, and you really need to be taking into account. So tell me, there's Lauren, she's back again. I heard a little bing, bing. So I'm sure she will be moving any second, guys. Let's see. Lauren, are you back? She's still frozen. But so while we wait for Lauren, how many of you are entrepreneurs, or how many of you, just write entrepreneur if you're an entrepreneur, whether you're watching live or whether you are watching this as a recorded session, just type below, I'm an entrepreneur. And I'm going to remove, Lauren's joined us from another, oh, there we go. Okay,
I'm so sorry. I'm running around with multiple devices. Our Wi-Fi just went down, so I'm calling now through.
It's totally fine. Well, I just recapped for them what we were talking about for anybody else who's just joined in now. And I just asked, if you are an entrepreneur, type entrepreneur below. If you have a business that can be helped with social media, just write business owner below, and then we'll know how many of you are coming in from the different aspects. But Lauren is back, so I'm going to hand it over to her again.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. Okay, I want to get stuck back into the second point, and this is something that I wish I had thought about in the very early days of my first businesses, and it's this concept of the model paradigm. And essentially, it's putting in the time to define a business model, not only that's going to build a beautiful business for you, that it will have the impact you want, but that will deliver the life that you want to live. And, you know, this is something that I didn't spend enough time considering in the early days. I started, my first business was a consulting firm called Hello Sailor Consulting, a lot of nautical themes in my early days. And I was so excited, as we all are when we start, right? We get clients, we get business, we're putting in time, we have limitless energy, it seems, for the business that we're building. But you quickly get to the point, and I remember the day sitting in bed just going, what the hell have I built? I have no time. I am exhausted. I have no money. I have clients that are very demanding. It's like I have multiple bosses instead of just the one that I was so eager to leave. I was talking about this last night in this concept of the entrepreneur's dilemma, which is pretty much that point when you get that feeling. And so now my steer and some advice I always give is, like, what are your non-negotiables and how does your business model deliver on that? For me, it is never have to be in an office, never have to be, never trade my time for money, and always be doing something that helps other people and delivers my purpose. So it will be different for everyone, but spending time on that vision, on those non-negotiables, so important before you start implementing any tactics.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that is one of the biggest mistakes that people make. And I've made it so many times. You've got this vision and you go, this is going to be amazing. And you dive in. And before you know it, you're depleted. You're completely exhausted. And you're going, how do I get my life back? Because now I've started this whole nother monster when I was trying to get away from that monster that I've just run away from, you know? So I totally get that. That's great advice. What are your non-negotiables, guys? Write down non-negotiables now, or play this back and write down your non-negotiables. Have a clear vision. What's
Absolutely. Next? Okay, next is value. And, you know, you can't reiterate this enough. Everything that we're doing in business is a value exchange. Whether it is putting content on Instagram and asking someone to like it or to follow you, or whether it is an actual transaction, exchanging a product, service, or program for money, we need to make sure that we're delivering real, tangible value into the world. And if things are feeling hard, if you feel like you're posting into a black hole, or if you're getting heaps of people coming and looking at your product but not purchasing, it's not often because of the price, even though that's the objection we hear the most. It's actually because of the value, and more specifically, the way you're communicating the value. And so right now during COVID, it's such an interesting time because the needs and wants of everyone have changed, which is very exciting if you're just starting out in business because it's an even playing field. If you are in business, it's important to be humble and to accept that what was working a few months ago is not working now. And what your customers need from you may have changed. And so opening up that two-way dialogue, asking, like getting on calls with people and just going, what is the value you need from me right now? And then pivoting if needed, the absolute buzzword of the last couple of months, but being humble, pivot if needed, and creating something that is valuable today and tomorrow.
So you broke up there for a second. So you finished on valuable, and that we got that point clearly, but then Great. You just went, So Just make that last point again.
My gosh, if I could only remember my own words. I think it's just important to use the opportunity and things like social media to open up a two-way dialogue with your customers. No assumptions anymore. What was working isn't. Ask your customers what value they need from you and then make it. You know, for example, we just pivoted Future Females from offline to online events. 32 cities and a lot of ambassadors who run our events had never run a webinar before. So we put together a whole heap of training and took them through it. And then we just asked our community, do you need this? And they said, yes. So then we sold it, and it went so well because we listened and we're adaptable. So that's definitely a steer I would give right now.
Yeah, it's so important, and it is humbling because especially if you've been in business for a long time, you know, a lot of people, like you said, Brian was saying that a lot of people, you know, they've been in business and their businesses have been severely impacted, and they were running super successful businesses so to now kind of go, oh, okay, my business is not working, and how do I think completely out the box? But I mean, Brandon Bays, I interviewed Brandon Bays on Wednesday, and
Amazing.
you know, she was saying, you know, she's used to that live interaction, and when this happened, she was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? How am I going to run my workshops? And then her husband just reminded her, honey, you just grow with this next phase, you know, and just expand what is possible, because although it's scary, if you start doing that often, something even more exciting actually comes up. Like, I bet you, Lauren, you are connecting with more people than you've ever connected with before by going online the way that you have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I really think that there's a lot of silver lining that can come out of the pause and the perspective that this time is giving us to take a step out of our business and just go, like, really, if we strip it back and take ego out of it, what's working and what's not working.
So what are the business models or opportunities that are working really well right now? What are the things that are working online, so that if people are listening and they've got a business, whatever their business is, they can go, okay, if that's working, then maybe I can implement this, you know, and just open their minds to possibilities.
Cool. So this might sound quite broad, but I would say, like, most business types can work right now, but it is the way that you market them that may need to change. So a lot of the entrepreneurs I've been working with in the past month are, let's say, retailers with a physical product who perhaps had an online store but had never optimized it. You need to get your online store set up, integrated with Facebook, which is actually very simple. It can be done for you, and start doing some paid advertising. Substitute your foot traffic for online web traffic, and social media is the cheapest way to get that. Similarly with your services, reimagine how you deliver. My aunt is a heart surgeon, and she's doing virtual consultations. Like, everything can be done. So reimagine your offering, and then similarly, get that traffic coming in, offer value, build your online authority and credibility. And the way you do that is things like this: appear live, answer questions, help people without any expectation. And then they will come into your business like they would with an offline conversation. And then the third type, which is obviously where we operate, is online learning. And my gosh, this is such an exciting industry. Everyone has knowledge inside their heads that they could package up and sell. It may not be a skill. It may have been a unique experience you've been through, something that you can help other people through. So whatever that is, you can sell that, whether it is a one-off training, whether it is consultations, whether it's a full program you put together or a mastermind you create. That is an exciting space, not just because you can do it online, but because instead of selling one-to-one, like consulting, like a lot of services, you can sell one-to-many. You make your program once and you can help hundreds or thousands of people.
You know, I've always been a huge fan and a huge believer, more than a fan, of mentoring. I always feel that, you know, there's always, I'm the eternal student, there's always something I can learn, but there's always something I can also teach. And it's being humble enough to be in that position to go, yes, there are people that know so much more than I do in all of these realms, but then also being gracious enough to pass on your knowledge. And that does take a certain level of self-belief, because a lot of people question their value. But if you really sit with it, all of you, every single one of you listening right now has something that has some piece of knowledge that that you can actually pass on and will enrich other people's lives. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Lauren, do you know that 11 a.m. in the morning in South Africa, which is GMT +2, is the time that the most people are awake and on the internet in the whole world?
Oh my gosh, I did not, but that's very exciting.
It's very exciting.
Hello, whole world.
And so what I do is that at 11 o'clock, and everyone thinks that I'm nuts or knows that I'm nuts, but I howl 3 times and say, thank you, thank you, thank you, because I know that all of the essential workers get that in different cities. But imagine if like the majority of the world was doing it at the same time. So I'm going to do it right now. You're welcome to join me, or you can just watch and laugh. But
amazing. I don't know if I can howl.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know that some essential workers are tuned in now. So here's a holler to you guys as well. But it just, I didn't know that either. And then I was researching, like, what time should I have my show? And it came out that 11 a.m. was the time that the most people in the world are awake. So we miss the Americas a bit, but, we get the New Zealand and the Australias, it's their late evening. We get Europe, we get some China, we get a lot of places in the world are actually awake at this time. And so it's
amazing.
Just a little thing,
I love it.
So, Lauren, is there anything else that you think that people need to know right now before I let you run away?
Yeah, there's one more thing I'd like to share, because I was discussing it in a coaching session this morning just kicked off a program this week, a whole new cohort of our business school at Future Females, which is, early stage female entrepreneurs. And we discussed this idea of personal brand versus business brand. And I think it's important, particularly in this current context, because a lot of people are scared to put their face out there. And I know I was. When I launched Growth Academy, I launched as a logo. My Instagram account was Growth Academy. I, as Lauren Dallas, was nowhere to be seen. And it came from a place of fear. I was like, if I fail, no one will even know it was me. I can just go do the next thing. And it was only about 5 months in, after some really hard slog and getting very little traction. You don't engage with a logo, right? You can't know, like, and trust a logo like you can a person. That I stepped out and embraced this idea of Lauren Dallas. And right now in particular, people are craving human connection. And they need that online, which is why we've seen a huge rise of things like stories on Instagram and Facebook, and live videos and interviews like this, because this is the connection people need. And so one thing I would say is, if you are a really key part of your business, which I would challenge that everyone is, then step out. Even if it is simple, introduce yourself to your customers, ask them what support they need, put your face out there and be confident doing it, because you are the only thing no one can ever compete with. And you are the thing that your customers need to connect with. And it's not just nice, it's not just fluff. It will have a really solid impact on your bottom line.
Okay, so that's really interesting, because I sometimes feel like surely they're sick of seeing my face, in every post.
Never.
And I'll post of other things, but the reality is I actually do get a really good response on the posts that have my face on them versus posts that don't have my face on the post, So would you even go as far as to, when I'm introducing you, I put, a picture of you there. Would you have me and you in the post?
I think, everything is about experimentation, right? That's the beauty of social. We learn every single day. But I find, like you, when I have my own face in my posts in my videos, of course, that they perform better. And even if I take, one of my students, she runs a jewelry business. She's got 10,000 followers and she's never introduced herself. So I challenged her to a month ago. She did a story because it disappears after 24 hours. So it's pretty low risk. And it was the most engagement she's got on a story since starting her account. She said she got all these beautiful messages. Thank you so much. So happy to finally meet you. So even if it is, in coaching, people are buying into a person. So it's critical to have your face out there. But even if you're operating a more traditional business, people still want to connect with you, with the founder, with the creator.
Yeah. You just made me think of, do you remember when they used to do those like furniture adverts, and there was like a family run business, and there was the family in front of the furniture store, or like a car, sales part, and there was the guy, come to Marcus, he's the one you can trust. But the reality is that it's actually true.
Oh my gosh. And maybe they did it because it works, and here we are laughing. Good old Marcus.
I know, right? Okay, so we've got a few questions coming through. Please remember to put your question and then where you're coming from. I'm just going to answer 3 that have come through that I think are kind of standing out as questions that you guys can all sort of get something from. So the one question that's coming through is, what kind of results can people get from Facebook advertising? What could be expected?
So this is a good question. And also another typical question I get is like, what should my budget be for Facebook ads? And I can answer them at the same time, because Facebook ads can be profitable, and they can be one of the fastest ways to earn revenue and then reinvest in your business. So actually, if you're following this cyclical strategy, which is what I teach, then every day you should be getting more and more and better results. I think as a benchmark, a $1 to $2 cost of lead is pretty good. But as I said, right now you can get leads for 10 cents, which is insane. And so then you just calculate that through to your product. And as soon as you're profitable, $1 in is making $2 or $3 out, then you should just be doubling down and scaling. And I mean, then it's really just how fast can you spend on your ads that will determine the results you can see.
One of the other questions that is coming up, that has come up so many times in so many platforms, actually, is that, so many people think that setting up an online business is creating passive income. Is there such a thing as passive income? And maybe let's just start there. Oh no, have I lost Lauren again? Guys, we are on Thrive and we are with Lauren Dallas. She is joining us from the Midlands in the UK, so her connection is a little bit unsteady sometimes. She is answering all of entrepreneurs' questions. So if you've got a question, just type it in below and let me know what country you're coming from, whether you're watching this live or afterwards. Let's start a discussion around entrepreneurship and how we can support each other. Okay, Lauren is back. Did you hear my question there, Lauren?
I did not. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, no problem. So I was just asking, is there such a thing, by starting an online business, is there such a thing as a passive income? Can you create a passive income online?
This is a really, really good question, because obviously the goal for so many of us is passive income. And my belief is you can only have truly passive income from an asset, like investing in property or in shares. You can have semi-passive income from an online business, and this may not be a popular opinion, but you're always going to have a role to play, or at least until you build your systems, your processes, and delegate to someone who you really trust with your business and your brand. That's why it's important to not just start something with money in mind, but also something that delivers on your purpose so that it doesn't feel like work, which is so cliche to say, but I think in business, you'll always have a role.
Yeah, I also believe that there's low effort income that you can create. So for instance, if you are a teacher of any sorts or a coach, somebody creates coaching program that is pre-recorded. You can create a product online and sell that, but you'll still need to monitor the advertising. You'll still need to do a little bit of work around that. It'll never just be something passive. So I think that is very important to understand, is to have like a realistic expectation of what you are creating. Jennifer has asked, can you get people to help me focus? Is there a way of getting people to help me? Because her focus is not around money as such, but more around building local economies through building community. So she doesn't know how to take that vision of building a community and making it monetized, I suppose. Do you get that a lot, La, with people wanting to create some form of community, but they're not quite sure how to monetize what they're doing?
I mean, absolutely. This was my situation 2.5 years ago. Firstly, I would say if you're struggling to start, just start really, really small, right? Future Females, we didn't start with this vision of a connected global community and all of these programs and a physical co-working space. We started by saying, let's just have a single event in Cape Town, invite our networks and see who turns up. And then, of course, a lot of people turned up. We had 100 people in a room that fit 60. And after that, a friend from Berlin called and was like, can I run an event? And we said, yes. Someone in Namibia rang my co-founder and was like, can I run an event? It gradually expanded from there. But to the point of monetization, while it was scaling, it wasn't monetized. We were running free events. We were a team of volunteers. And frankly, it was costing us money. And so while it was delivering the purpose that my co-founder Serena and I had, it was taking away, I guess, some of our energy for it, because it was taking away our finances every month. So then we looked at monetizing, and there's lots of different ways of doing this, and you can experiment. You could charge for your events. We still charge for some online. You could get local sponsorships. You could partner, e.g. we partner with the UK government. You could develop programs or even mini trainings that support your community. And again, thinking back to that value, what is it that they need right now, and how can you create, even if it's not your own concept, right? It doesn't have to be your knowledge. It could be someone else's knowledge you're passing through. So there's lots of opportunities, but just start really small, build that community, and then co-create what it is they need together.
Amazing. So guys, it has been so great having Lauren with us. And one of the things that Lauren does do is she has webinars, and these webinars are around, well, anything from 45 minutes to an hour and a half, right, Lauren? Sometimes
yes.
Longer. But they are all very informative webinars. Each one is very specific on the topic, and they go through actual knowledge processes so that you can action something straight afterwards. And this is really important to me, because I know that there is a lot of learning that is out there right now. And I think there's an influx now, like you were talking, people are sharing their gifts, but you need to go to places, to trusted places as well, where you're going to spend an hour and actually get something out of that hour that you can action and do something with straight away. And Lauren's webinars are those kind of webinars. So she is going to be giving me a link, I think either this afternoon or tomorrow morning, and I will share it with you if you guys would like to learn more. But Lauren, do you want to tell them a little bit about your upcoming webinar?
I do. So firstly, apologies for not having the link right now. But today is my birthday, and I'm giving myself... Thank you. I was like, should I have champagne before or after this interview? But you'll be pleased to know I'm having it after.
I'm going to have to sing happy birthday to you before we
go. Please. But so in any case, I will be running a webinar, and this webinar is called 4 Strategies to Grow an Online Business. And over my years, I've developed a model, and it is called the PAVE model. And it is the 4 pillars you need to grow a profitable online business. So we'll be talking about profit, attraction, visibility, and engagement, and the different elements that fall under each of those pillars that you need to focus on and to build in the process of taking your business online or building it online from scratch. So that's what we'll be doing in this hour. As Susanna said, I actually started this webinar by saying I'm not so good at the fluff. I like to get into the nitty gritty and into the content. So that's what you can expect. And we'll share the link this afternoon or tomorrow morning.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. She did actually say that to me. I'm getting a lot of happy birthdays coming through for you and a lot of hearts.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Had somebody sing happy birthday to you really badly in Portuguese? Because I feel
no.
Something, you know, that is like really out there, since I can't send you anything because we're not allowed to send anything from South Africa. I'll do that. Parabéns a você nesta data feliz, muitos felicidades, muitos anos de vida. Yay!
Woo! That was amazing. That was much better than any sort of physical gift. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Lauren. Thank you so much for being here today and sharing your knowledge and your energy and your passion. It's so wonderful to have you. Thank you.
And you, thank you so much. And to everyone tuned in, thanks for giving me this hour. I hope it's been really useful.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Whether you're watching this live or whether you are watching a recording of it, please give us thumbs up below so that I know whether you enjoyed it. Give me feedback. What was the most useful thing that was shared in this conversation that you can actually use now to better your business or better your situation? And know that I will be sharing the link with you guys. Also, just remember that I will give you Thrive members first option on questions, and we are going to have extra special things happening in the Thrive only membership group. So if you're not a member of Thrive, just comment Thrive below if you're on Facebook, and we'll instantly take you to a membership area. And if you are on Instagram, then you can go to the link in my bio where my website address is supposed to be, and that will send you through there as well. So much love and light. Lots of love. Bye for now.